All right, today we're jumping right into the heart of the TNFD framework and we're zeroing in on the evaluate phase. We're going to uncover those connections between business and nature, the ones that are often invisible but are absolutely crucial. Just think about that for a second. What if you could actually see every single way your company relies on nature, and just as importantly, every way it affects nature in return? What do you think that would change about your strategy, your risks, and yeah, even your opportunities? Well, believe it or not, that's exactly what the LEAP approach is all about. It gives us a framework, a structure to make those invisible connections totally visible. So come on, let's do this together. We're going to build our own map step by step and see exactly how this whole thing works. Okay, first things first, we have to wrap our heads around this one core idea. Business and nature are not two separate things operating in their own little worlds. They are deeply, fundamentally connected. You see, it's a two-way street. On one side, you've got dependencies. That's all the stuff businesses need from nature just to operate. And on the other side, you've got impacts, basically the footprint their operations leave on the environment. Getting a really clear picture of this give and take, well, that's the key to the whole thing. All right, let's get our hands dirty and start building this thing. We're going to create what's called a dependency and impact pathway. Sounds technical, but trust me, it's all about making this relationship super clear. So, meet the two main players in our little story here. Over on the left, we've got a business activity. Let's just picture a manufacturing plant, right? And on the right, we have the ecosystem it's sitting in. Could be a river basin, a forest, you name it. This is our blank canvas. Okay, time to draw our first line. We need to figure out what the business needs from nature. This is all about mapping its dependencies. The official term for this is ecosystem services. And I want you to really pay attention to that word, services. We're not just talking about raw materials here. Calling them services really highlights that these are essential contributions that nature provides, often completely for free, that make our entire economy tick. So, back to our map. Let's grab our pen and draw the first arrow. It's going to flow from the ecosystem to the business. This shows nature providing those critical services. It's the first lane of traffic on our two-way street. And you know what? These services are literally everywhere. For that manufacturer we talked about, it's a constant supply of fresh water. For a farmer, it's pollination and healthy soil. If you're building on the coast, it might be the mangroves that are protecting you from floods. It just goes to show how deeply businesses rely on a healthy, functioning planet. All right, so we've got one side of the equation down. What nature gives to business. Now let's flip it. What does business do to nature? It's time to trace our impacts. And these are what we call impact drivers. These are the specific actions or even byproducts from a business that have a direct effect on the environment. Think water pollution, land use changes, greenhouse gas emissions, the whole shebang. Okay, back to the map one last time. We're drawing our second arrow, and this one goes from the business back to the ecosystem. And just like that, we've done it. We've completed the pathway. We can now see the full feedback loop, that constant interaction between the company and its environment. So you might be asking, who's actually using this map? Well, it kind of depends on who you are. If you're a corporation like our manufacturer, you're looking inward. You're tracing this pathway through your own factories, your own supply chain. But if you're a financial institution, your view is much broader. You're looking at the combined pathways of all the companies you invest in. And that reveals a much, much bigger picture of risk. So we've built our pathway. We can see the loop, but let's be real. This is more than just a neat diagram, right? The real question is, why does this actually matter? How does this map go from being a simple drawing to a powerful tool for business? And this quote from the official TNFD guidance really nails it. The point isn't just to draw some arrows. It's about identifying, analyzing, and actually measuring these connections. It's a serious due diligence process. And here it is, the big payoff. Once you can see that full pathway, you can start asking some really smart, really critical questions. Like, what happens if that water supply suddenly isn't so reliable? Boom, that's a risk. Or, what if we could drastically cut our water pollution? That could be an opportunity. Maybe we save money on treatment or we earn a better reputation. You see, this isn't just about being green. It's a powerful business intelligence tool. And that right there is the key thing to remember. This dependency and impact pathway, it isn't the final destination. It's the map. It shows you exactly where you stand in relation to the natural world. And once you have that map, that's when the real work, the strategic work begins.
The question is no longer, are we connected to nature? But, okay, now that we can see it all laid out, where do we go from here?